get on with the business of the nation. Murray Watt, Agriculture Minister in this Albanese government, today said farmers must do more to cut their emissions to save the planet. Here he is.
I'm always at pains to recognise the enormous efforts the agriculture sector has made already in reducing our national emissions, but the reality is we're going to need to do more. Our international markets and domestic consumers are expecting more and more sustainably produced food.
Matt Canavan, is the Minister right that farmers must now play their part in cutting emissions, and not just by carbon offsets? He said they've got to do things like cutting down cattle burps of methane.
Well, let's be very clear. If the government makes farmers do this, it will mean that you pay more for food in the shops. That's what it will mean. If we produce less food, if we engage or force higher costs on our farmers to produce that food, it will mean higher costs for everybody else. And then you have to wonder, well, why am I paying this higher cost? What's it going to deliver? Well, of course, if we got rid of all Australian farming, it's not going to make a jot of difference. Australia accounts for just 1% of the world's emissions, and our farmers account for about 15% of that 1%. And no other country, no other major country in the world is doing this to their nation's farmers. So why would our government be on the warpath against our farmers? It doesn't make any sense or add up here. And look, I think the other important thing here is hopefully this is finally a big news flash to the National Farmers Federation, who have been walking hand in hand with their enemies in the Greens down this path, thinking somehow that they're going to get rivers of gold from selling carbon offsets or what have you. The reality is that's not the case, because, as I say, under the carbon accounting rules, and I don't make these rules, I think they're absurd, but under the carbon accounting rules, farmers account for 15% of our nation's emissions. And they can't offset things twice. They can't grow trees on their farm, sell that to an aluminium smelter, and then also use those same trees to offset the methane coming from their own cattle. If the government enforces this, they won't have that plantation to sell. And as I say, the rest of us will be left with higher priced food and less food available for our whole country.
Matt Canavan, I'm actually out of time. If I could get a 5-second Matt Canavan zinger. Our Defence Forces worked for 6 months to fix one problem: renaming our fleet of drones from unmanned aircraft systems to the gender-neutral uncrewed aircraft systems. To be more woke, or not to upset the Chinese when we're firing it at them, I don't know. Don't you think that's a weird priority?
Well, lucky our Defence Department, of course, manages every major procurement so well, Andrew, that they've got lots of time to devote these other things. I mean, I'd be concerned about it if we couldn't, say, deliver a sub or couldn't deliver a ship on time and on budget. But they're doing such a bang-up job, they've got so much time to devote to this. Don't you love your taxes at work? Oh,
and they're supposedly in the killing business, but they're, we might have the wrong word for a drone. I mean, seriously, Matt Canavan, thank you so much for your time.